That's my hair.
Oh, I think we are the same.
I don't know if we have the same. I can braid my hair.
No, I cannot.
See? See, when you break it down,
break it down,
it's like it doesn't make
ridiculous.
sense.
Yeah, okay. What is it? Twerks? No.
Quirks.
To iterate?
Or it.
What's the word?
Iterate.
You see?
Think as reiterate.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's call that a section.
Okay. We talked about poo for 20 minutes.
It has potential.
See that?
Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
All right. Yeah, you start.
Okay.
Have you seen your girlfriend poop?
No, and I never will.
Oh,
No, I'm not about that.
is that like an actual rule?
Yes. No, it's a rule.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I will never see either of my girlfriend or my wife poop.
Have you seen anyone poop?
Yes. No, I have. But because I work in disability, so I see
Okay.
them.
Is that why there's a rule?
No,
Okay.
no, it's because it's gross.
Okay.
But no, I think it's privacy. It's
Okay,
just yeah. I like to poop on my own. It's my time to poopies, and I think for the ladies,
Yeah.
it's because they don't want to be associated with gross.
Wait, ladies poop?
No, they don't. No, they don't poop.
I thought Santa told me. Lady no poo poo.
No, poo poo.
They pee pee. They tinkle.
Tinkle.
They tinkle.
They tinkle.
But no poo pee.
Yeah. Is it?
Yes, that's it. I remember like in my earlier relationships, I don't want to say I kind of wanted to see them pee and poo, but I kind of was like, nothing needs to be private. Like, I think we need to kind of cross the threshold to go, if I see you pee and poop, you can tell me anything. I think I took it that way. Like,
Right.
if you can pee in front of me, it wasn't a kink. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I get turned on by it, but it was more like,
Give me that diarrhea.
yeah. I'll be honest, I don't think I was in a room when somebody pooped, but it was the idea of it. Like, if I walk in and you were peeing,
Right.
it was okay. Because if I saw you peeing and you told me about your poop, if you said, hey, my poop was green today, I don't know, it's like beyond a sense of intimacy.
Right.
That's crossed. But in reality, at least now I'm realizing that was kind of reserved. It kind of goes past into friendship. Like with my friends, I can talk to whether it's a guy or a girl.
Yeah.
They have told me about their poop and all of that.
Sure.
But there's an unsexiness to it.
It's horrible.
It's not, you can't take it back. And I want, even though like I think of my girlfriend as like more of a like, oh, she's perfect in every way. I don't necessarily want to think that way.
Sure.
But I want her to think of me that way, as this sexy man who's just nothing poopy ever happens. He's just perfect, sexy God. I want her to think of me.
Let me. Women are gonna find a reason why you're gross.
Well, it's just they just would try real hard with me.
It will-
Nah, keep us that sexy.
Look,
hey,
look. If you're super great at, cleaning up and making good smells and all that kind of stuff, sweet. Like I'm pretty good with that stuff. But even when I go to the toilet, I don't really spray afterwards. Whatever. No, I clean up after myself for sure.
I think it depends if somebody's in the house. I think if nobody's home, there I just let it. I flush and like let it waft out, the natural way.
Yeah, sure.
But if I think it also helps because I have bidets in my house. Do you know what a bidet is?
That's the thing that squirts water up your asshole.
This was the handheld one. It's like a mini shower. I'll show you. It's like a mini little.
So you know how it works.
Yeah. You bend over and okay. Oh, so it's like a mini, tiny little shower. So at least you have control. So you don't go into places you don't want to. So
Or what you do want to.
Oh, you do want to. Oh, it's so clean up there. It's like so wiki. Yeah, I like the fact that I can poop and I can wash it. Like I want to walk out of there with my butt. You know that sound the plates make after they're so clean? Like I want my butt to feel like that.
You want some of that?
I want, but like when I walk out of there, it's like wet, dried, clean, like that. I don't understand toilet paper that way. It's not good enough for me.
Right.
I need more.
You need more.
Wet wipes, at least.
At least, yeah.
Or if I can get bidet, perfect.
That's good. That's a good. Yeah. I like that. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
My relationship with poop is actually pretty good.
Okay.
Right.
Then you have a relationship with them?
Yes.
It's not just a fling.
No, it's not just a thing. Yeah. I'm dedicated to pooping.
Okay.
Like that's why I drink mate, because even though it's bitter as shit, it makes me poops.
Oh, I didn't know that was like a poop thing.
It's a poop thing. It cleanses you. That's a nice way of saying it. It cleanses your
So it gives you diarrhea.
sort of. Sort of. It just helps you move your bowels.
Diarrhea.
Sure. Okay. Look, I don't care if it comes out. It's fine.
Okay.
But in saying this was always a big conversation between my parents.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd wake up in the morning, and then it's like, "Hola, mijito, did you do the caca today?" And even now,
Okay.
she'd be like, "Do you doing the good poopies? You need to do good poopies."
That's nice.
And it's a constant conversation between us. It's like, my family can't function without my dad going to the toilet for his meeting, because that's what he says. He'll go, I go to the meeting. And so he goes to the meeting,
Yeah.
and he can't function, he can't go to any kind of thing until he's done his meeting.
I mean, he's a businessman.
Businessman.
He's all about the business.
Yeah. So it's always been the conversation, and Kimmy fucking hates it.
Why?
She fucking hates the conversation of poop. Just talking about poop. Like, even if she's done a poop, and I know poop when I smell one,
Okay.
and she'll cover it the best way possible.
What, she puts like flowers on it? What do you...
Yeah, whatever. She's got the sprays and thing. And
Oh, well.
she'll come out.
Oh, here's a random tip. You know what works? Matches.
I've heard of this.
I went to a friend's house in UK, and like, because I don't know if it's the smell of lighting the matches, but it's not, it's like a, how do I say it, anti-smell, because it has that metallic smell. It kind of takes away most of the smell. I don't know even if it's burned some stuff. I don't know what it is, but that was incredible. It's just weird having matches in the thing.
Yeah.
But it is.
It is. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. But no.
Sorry, keep
That's
on.
that's the thing.
So she hides her poop smell.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, but she's very different to me. I am very sporadic when I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm very sporadic. But Kimmy has
on time.
on time.
11:53.
Kind of like my dad. There's a specific time. This is when it happens. And I don't know how the body can do it. I don't know it.
I think, look, if you eat in the regular time and if you sleep in the same time, I can see how poop can happen in the same time.
Right.
In fact, I think when I got healthier, when I was and I used to eat a lot of McDonald's and stuff.
Right.
And I used to eat at like midnight or whatever.
Oh.
I remember my poop would happen whenever it needs to happen. So it could be like morning, noon, afternoon. I don't even know. It just happens. But I think when I started eating more regularly, I could tell, I won't be like it's 11:52, but I know between a certain time and time, I will have to poop. Or I make it regular so it's out of the way early in a way.
Sure.
So, and I think I use it to kind of use social media too. So I kind of, while I'm at the toilet, go, okay, here's my half an hour
This
to
is
do
my
that.
time to social media.
So welcome to Beardos. We post media and yes, we post on the toilet sometimes.
Yeah, literally I sometimes work on cuts as well. Just, oh, yeah, got it done.
And then you go, oh, that's the shit.
That's the shit right there. I like that. What an intro. Here you go.
Yeah, but even within the toilet, is that like a rule? Like you don't talk about poops. What are the rules? Like you have the whole keep the what do you call it? The things up.
the toilet
seat?
bring it down.
Bring it down.
Bring the toilet seat down. And yes, but I think I was conditioned for years. And to be fair, I poop and pee like a girl. I sit for everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Unless I have to go somewhere or if it's a public place.
You put down while pooping and peeing. Okay.
Even peeing, I can't, I want to take my time. I don't want to have to sit there and you know what it is?
Also, it's always down any regardless because you never have to pick it up because you don't pee.
And I also know where my dick is when I pee, so I'm not going to be making a mess. I know where to pee.
Yeah, look, I think that's hockey. You know why?
What?
Because when you pee, there's always a little bit left. It's not that, I mean, I know there are some guys who just, whoa, it's everywhere, right? If you direct it to the pee spot,
Yeah.
there's like a specific spot right above the water. Yeah. It's on the sides. It's not in the water because you don't want it to splash out.
Yeah.
But it's not on the side because it splashes everywhere.
Yeah.
It's right just before the water line.
It's on the edge.
Yeah, just what edge? Yeah, at the water line.
The bowl.
Yeah. So you aim for just above the water line, so it doesn't splash, but it doesn't make a lot of sound, but it just smooth goes in. But even when you're done, there's a little bit on the end there that either you have to squeeze out or you.
So this is what I don't do. I always have toilet paper ready to go to dab. I dab it.
You dab it, okay?
I dab, so I make sure whatever's left, I'm not squirting it all over the fucking spot.
If there's something, I'm like a little dog. I'm like a little
bit of a dog, right?
And then I clean it. Right. Because I don't want to be restricted by, let me put all of this stuff. And that's not freedom, man. Freedom is just letting go. It's in the general direction. It's not like I'm turning around and flicking it.
Right.
I'm like, okay, just there. Okay, now where's the thing? Like clean in the whole place. And it also gives me a chance to kind of do a mini clean of the toilet while I'm at it. So it's all in there, flush.
Okay.
Done. So that's my system.
But if your system incorporates cleaning, wouldn't you naturally put the seat down anyway?
Depends. So the whole point of keeping the thing up is a lot more surface area.
Sure.
So you can kind of see if you are not a regular water drinker, you can kind of see where the pee is.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, I'll still put it in. There's not a lot of spillage outside.
Yeah.
This is why the seat goes up.
Mm-hmm.
My rule is be a strong, independent person.
Right.
If you need the seat the way you want it to, set it the way you want it to before you use it.
Sure.
I don't have to serve anyone's needs by setting it for them because they don't set it for me.
Right.
So my rule
They're not gonna lift the toilet seat up for you to pee. It's like maybe you need to pee.
Maybe you need to pee. What are you gonna do? Do I be like, hi, hello? But they need stuff. No.
Right.
So my rule is, whatever you need to use, however, be an adult, be a strong, independent person,
Sure.
and keep it however you want it when you use it.
Has that been a conversation that you've had with someone to be like, hey, can you make sure just to put the seat?
I think I don't agree with the people who do that, and then they try to trick you by like, did you know you need to close the whole thing down when you need to flush, or poop particles will go everywhere.
Yeah, I've heard of this one as well.
I think that's bullshit. I mean, it is probably true. It's true, but I think it's like a way to like, oh, now that it's down, I guess you're not going to take the effort to put it up, right?
Yeah.
There's no poop particles when you pee. First of all. Huh?
Is it a pee particle?
There's no that thing. It's a water. Who eats water mixed with water?
I mean, you know what I hate? I hate when you poo and all peep and then you get the splash pad. I hate that.
Say that again.
If you pee and you're pooping and it's too strong in the water and it splashbacks up your butthole.
See, this is why you stand up to pee.
But if you're pooping,
Okay, yeah. I mean, that happens. Hence the bidet. So before you even get up, you clean everything.
I like that.
Right? Even if there's like particles, you can kind of use the water to kind of spray everything down too.
I don't have one of these, but
It's really good. Invest in one. It's not that expensive, and you can attach it to your normal bidet.
I think it's funny because I watched the boys recently in this. I don't know if you've seen The Boys.
Yeah.
The Boys.
Yes, the boys.
The one on Amazon. The superheroes, but they're all super real. And they've got
Yes.
and he's like super germaphobe.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me of that part where it's like, don't just wipe with a dry thing. You're just spreading
I agree.
the shit.
I agree.
Like take some wet wipes.
I think, look, even though like I come from a third world country, even our perception of like white people is they don't clean their butts, right?
They just wipe
It's like, okay, if you had chocolate on your hands, do you go use the toilet paper? No, you wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Because that's the only way it goes. So yeah, the day over toilet paper.
I know a lot of you motherfuckers are just like wiping dry shit. You walk around with dry shit.
You're just spreading it around.
Yeah. It's true.
I think maybe this is where I go, your butt, your armpits, just keep it clean. Like, I shave my armpits. Huh? I don't.
It's all clean.
I think those are the places, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. It's
Why
not,
don't you shave your armpits?
because I think it's cleaner. I think where sweat and smell comes from is on the closed areas.
Right.
So there, any edges that can fold
Sure.
is where sweat comes from.
Right.
So if you can keep it dry and, I was going to say moist. Dry, it's the opposite. Dry and airy, that's the best way to do it. So I choose to shave my armpits because of that. So it's always clean.
And how much hair do you have under your armpits now?
I am a hairy dude. I'm a hairy dude.
This hairy?
I am worse. See, I trimmed that too. That's why I trim my.
You trim it? Okay, where my leg at?
That's my hair.
Oh, I think we are the same.
I don't know if we are the same. I can braid my hair.
No, I kind of.
See.
Yeah.
So I'm a hairy dude, but clearly
But you trim it.
I trim it. I trim it because it's not.
Doesn't it come out thicker and hard to deal with?
If that's the case, you just shave your beard and it comes thicker. No, it doesn't work like that. Like, we shave our heads. Is it coming back thicker? I don't think so. I wish. I wish, but it's another myth of like, if you shave, you get more hair.
Hair, yeah, right. Not more hair, but the hair that you do have, it just becomes more thicker.
What does that mean, thicker? As in, it's a fat hair,
Yeah.
or more hair in between?
Follicles.
More follicles if you shave. See, when you break
When you break it down, it's like, that's a bit ridiculous. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. All right, so I want to talk about festivals. I want to know your experience the first time you attended a festival next to teaching for a festival.
What's with all this figure things? So the festival.
So, all right, tell me your first experience with a festival, and then tell me when you fucking went into one as an artist. Tell me the
Festivals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me.
Dance festivals.
Dance festivals. Is it specific dance festivals?
I think they're amazing. I think that was my first exposure to how big the community is. I think
Which one? Which one was your first? Which
my first one was the Sydney one.
Sydney International Bachata
Sydney
Festival?
International Bachata Festival. I think one of the teachers they were doing a performance and they said, oh, come to a festival. And I didn't understand how big it was in the sense of how big the community was. Because I assumed, a few schools from Sydney will show up. Oh, that's nice. We can meet a few people that we've never seen. But I did not realize, I know the name says International Festival. I did not realize that my first experience had amazing classes, had amazing performances, meeting internationals for the first time, learning from them, and in general, seeing international dances coming and dancing there. And the different styles. I think
We're not sponsored by Sydney International Bachata Festival. But yeah, we're singing its praises. So
I think it's just it's my experience every time when I go to different festivals, how it shows me how big the community is, and how I might not even know the language. I might not even say anything other than why not know that. And then
that's all not able to speak English at the time?
Yeah, at that time I was more like I was learning Ewok. No. But like different countries I go to, they might not necessarily speak the language. I mean, most of them do in English, but it was fascinating to see how, I think maybe because we're in Australia, it just feels a little, you see the same people in a weird way.
Yeah.
So you kind of go, okay, this is how big the community is. There's some new people coming in and out, but it's this big.
Yeah.
But when you see the scale of it internationally, it's kind of amazing. And even live music, I had the opportunity, this was years ago, where I saw one of the performers live. And it was kind of a weird, like I hear this person on my radio all the time, and to see them live and play with the band,
Who was
I
in it?
can't remember exactly who it was. I'm not good with names.
Was it just the singer, or they had a? Because I think Sydney has a bachata band and they bring in singers.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
It was a bachata band, and then the singer sang with the band.
Yeah, that's cool.
But this was the first time hearing each instruments. You know what I mean? Like hearing them individually, not as a well-mastered music. It was amazing, and
It's so good.
Yeah.
Live music.
oh, I never felt it. So it was, I didn't poo-poo it, but I just thought like, oh yeah, it's going to be like a weird unmixed version of the songs.
Sure.
But being there, I had a weird feeling of, should I be listening to them or should I be dancing? Because my body wants to dance, but I'm like, I just want to watch and absorb as much as possible.
Yeah.
As the years went by, I had the opportunity to go on stage with these singers too.
Yeah.
And that was also another feeling to be kind of sort of be part of it. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah.
To cut you off on that, the first time I got, not in terms of festival, I'll come back to that in a second.
Yeah.
But the first time I got to see a Kizomba live band, this was in Portugal.
Oh,
This was in Portugal, and I believe it was the Like Festival, one of my favorite Kizomba bands, and I was like, I was serious because you would never be able to see these kind of people in general come all the way out here. It's just Kizomba's not big enough. We're starting to get a couple singers now, but to have a full live band and someone as big as that to come, I was like, and then one of the singers was just doing guitar at a dinner party because he was there, one of the really top singers of Kizomba, and I was just like, and my fiance at the time, she was like, man, you don't cry for anything, but you cry for this, and I'm like, because you never see it. It's so good. It's so good, and it's like, oh man, I wish we could have more of that here in terms of Kizomba, right? The fact that we have it for bachata is freaking amazing. Like, I think I would love bachata more seeing a live band.
Do we have a bachata band here?
No.
No. I mean, it's sad. I mean, Melbourne has a big bachata scene,
Massive.
but there's not one singer or band that.
There is singers that can kind of,
Yeah.
play a little bit of an instrument, have a bit of a bachata. There was, back in the day, we used to have a Latin Sundays. And they used to have like just two singers. They'd have a backing track, but some percussion and some guitar. And he would sing bachata songs. That was the closest we ever got to that vibe that you're mentioning. But love to see more. He's still around doing stuff.
I think I see a lot more salsa bands. I think I've seen them a lot. And look, as much as they're intricate, they're interesting. Maybe because I'm not a big fan of salsa still, especially the music. I'm not into it yet, but I really enjoyed listening to, watching a live bachata band.
Yeah,
And I'm sure it's the same for Kizomba. I'll be honest, I didn't even know they were bands. I thought they were like DJs who sang. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's because just like bachata, before you had all your bongo chata and your old remixes and stuff, you had guys and bands doing the old Dominican stuff, and they just that's their bread and butter. It's like the salsa. I love salsa bands too. I'm gonna bring it back. I love salsa bands. Love the music. I would be one of those people who would prefer to sit there and watch a salsa band. It depends on the band, right? If it's a son band, Cuban son band, I fucking froth it because it's one of my favorite genres of that umbrella, right? So that sort of stuff, love it. I'd go nuts. I'd go to Cuba and just do that if I could. So all of the salsa, bachata, all these kind of came together, and especially for Kizomba, which took a lot of elements of Latin brass bands and stuff like that. So they had all that stuff. They had bands, and that's the best feeling.
I saw is it a mambo? Is there a mambo band? Is there mambo style? No, sorry.
Yeah, in terms of in terms of music and stuff, there kind of is, but it's more like a salsa. They're more jazz inspired.
Right. I think I saw a mambo rock band.
Mambo rock band.
Yeah. It was really good. It was fun.
That's cool.
What about in like, you don't see a lot of them in festivals though, do you? Do you see a lot of light?
It depends on what kind of festival you go to. If you go to a festival that focuses on, let's say they focus on sensual bachata.
Right.
What's the likelihood of you having a band in a sensual bachata?
But why not? Like that
I'm not
thing.
saying why not. Yeah, I'm just saying the likelihood of a sensual, like if it's all urban, it's all that kind of very computerized music. Sure, you could have a singer sing to a backing track, which has happened a lot.
Yeah.
Right, and they'll always come because it's always cheaper to bring just the singer instead of a band. Right. For kizomba, there's too many variant styles like urban kids that are sure this kind of thing. You might get a singer at best. You won't get a band.
Gotcha.
Because a band is more of the authentic vibe of kizomba. So
I think, look, the category is so slim. I'm okay with backing track and being the singer.
sure.
I'm even okay with backing track and cover singing. We had World Bachata Festival this year where they had cover singers come in and play for like a few minutes.
Sure.
And I think it was organized by a local artist. So it was local artists.
So not the festival, but a different local artist brought.
Brought them over.
Yeah.
And they were on for one song. And the effect they had on the crowd was amazing because they're reggaeton singers, I think. And when they...
Wait, it's a local artist.
So they're local reggaeton cover artists who came on to sing a bachata song in a bachata festival. The reaction was amazing. It was a mix between like, wait, are they the real singers? What's going on?
But they were a cover. They were a cover singer.
They were cover singers for a song, and they did one song and left. But it was like, it was not satisfying at all because they were even trying to get them to sing one more time the same song. But that's how desperate people were on like, oh, that was such a good experience.
They really want.
Do that again, you know?
You're always going to have a really good experience if you have even a singer. I think our Wake Festival had Bonificel for like a couple of years singing, and everybody loved it, even though it's like he can do the several genres, but at the time he was just doing kizomba, semba sort of stuff. I loved it. I thought it was great. Right. It's backing track and he's just singing on the floor and whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, man, this is fucking great. Right? Just having that. I think because we're so desperate to have it because most of our dancing is just DJs, right? Nothing against DJs. I'm one. It's the most cost-effective way to have a night. But always, if you can have some form of live, singing live music, something.
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole nother feeling, and I want people to experience it.
Yeah.
Because being so away from that culture, in a weird way, I even say this, like the first songs I got into when I came into bachata was, oh, here's a familiar Justin Bieber song I know, and there's a bachata remix to it. That was my hook initially to be like, all right, let's see what else is there. I think it's a whole nother feeling to see these live singers because it's like a surreal feeling of watching them sing.
Someone's actually serenading to you.
Yeah.
Right. You're getting all the real sounds. Right? Yeah, I hopefully it's something that more festivals will implement. I think for us at Unidos, it's something that I would love to have at some point. It's been a ride to try to get it right. We've done a few things. I think the first one especially, we had DJing with saxophone, and that was going pretty well. But you need to train a lot and make sure like her and I wanted to make sure we had something a bit more substantial for later Unidos.
Do that again.
We want to.
I know Alira, right? Who was it?
Alara.
Alara. Yeah, Alara and you. I think those little elements give them like a taste of what it is, and you can
Yeah.
kind of test it out to see, and sax works well with this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like an additive. It's like the ba, 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 da, 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 or ba, da, 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 da. Those are like so memorable. Like I think people are expecting that extra juice to the music that
Yeah.
exists. What is your goal when it comes to like what do you want to do? What do you want?
What do
What do you want?
It used to be going to festivals and stuff. You really did, but I've got an old man vibes and settling down, and
What's settling down when it comes to dancing?
just want to run my events, make people enjoy new creative shit. I like being really creative.
Okay.
Is this part of the video?
It could be.
Okay. Well, I just like being really creative. I just really like that's why I love my performing. I love performing because when you're a teacher, it becomes your work hobby. It becomes work. It does become a job because you're providing a service to someone.
Okay.
Even the type of topic that you want to provide, it's usually around what is the trendiest modern stuff. And we do our best to kind of include what we really want to teach.
Okay.
Does it make
Is
sense?
that the goal? Like the goal is to be
It's not necessarily a goal. This is just life, right? So I don't really have necessarily a goal of reaching international proportions.
okay.
That ship has sailed.
Because
Because I just don't have the drive. I don't. I've grinded for 10 years, and if I'm barely getting invited to normal festivals because I haven't done enough here or there or whatever kind of shit, I'm not gonna try and get myself into an international one. Like if I'm in there, sweet. If I'm doing some workshops, cool. I fail plenty here in Australia.
yeah.
Even though I've been around for a long time. I fail plenty. Like there's been workshops where there's like hardly people. There's been classes where there's hardly people.
Is that considered failure?
To me, as someone that's been running this bitch for a long time, I think it's a kick to the dick.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not.
But it does affect you like if there's not enough people in the class.
Oh yeah, I will shut shit down so fast. If I'm paying out of my pocket, nah,
Okay.
it's out. I'm like, and I'm not even sad about it. Before, I was so depressed if I didn't have many people at a class. I'd be like, that's it. I can't. I'm obviously not good enough or whatever. People have such varied lives. Things change so rapidly, and depending on your community, you could just not be in the right spot at the time, right? Like we've taken a break for winter because winter here is horrendous for most of us, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not so much for the bachata scene because it's so big that even some nights can survive quite well even during winter. Still a hit, but nothing in comparison to
The summer.
well, when summer kicks in, everybody is out and about depending on how hot it is. It was so fickle. It can be like it's too good a day. I'm not going out to 2 degrees less than what I would like to go out because it's kind of cold, but not really.
But I can't believe I am saying this to you. Yeah. Me.
Yeah.
But I don't think that should be a measure of a failure or just go once a week.
Yeah, but this is I mean, like just in general how people are feeling in the right at times, right? But let's say winter, right? You can have consistent failure after consistent failure in that week, and it can be so many different topics of reason for that to happen. I don't necessarily think it's my teaching. It could be that maybe I'm not doing enough or trendier stuff.
Or maybe it's just nothing to do with you.
Maybe it has nothing to do with me. Perfectly fine. But the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. I like
Where are my people? If my people's not there and I'm spending my own goddamn money, no. I'm sorry, I'm shutting it down.
Okay.
And you will see what happened to the community after. Like, luckily, Sensual, my monthly party, I don't have to work hardly at all. I don't have to grind. That baby's been sitting pretty for years. So I barely have to do too much. But the weekly classes, that's a hard thing to sell, and it's hard to kind of get going. And we can be in a really good place at one stage and a really poopy place. And the whole goal is make sure that you survive up until winter to have enough of a base to survive winter and then continue on.
I think, look, I've been to your classes, and I'm talking from a point of view of a student and a teacher.
Yeah.
I really don't know what's wrong. Like, even from an outside, I'm trying to swap places with you, and there's a lot of interest, but not a lot of follow-up from a lot of people. There's a lot of fickle reasons not to be there or come back, or like, I don't understand. Like, you're doing all the right things and it isn't happening.
Yeah.
And it sucks in that way. But at the same time, I go, like, I'm proud that you are plugging on, because maybe it just needs one. You know, and then I honestly thought you didn't really care. Not that you didn't care about the classes, but it didn't affect you that much. It was like a nice, like, connecting with the community thing. I didn't think you were holding that as like a measure of where you are. I thought like Sensuals and the festival was more of what
I think. Okay, to what's the word?
Iterate.
Have you seen? Look, just to clarify, I think as being a well-known enough, and I'm going to say local artist, well-known enough, I've hit that goal. I don't want to
reiterate.
There we go. I've hit that goal of being known.
Yes.
Sweet. I've hit a goal of creating a community in terms of my monthly and even with the classes. The monthly events, clearly, they're working out. And it's giving me a place to now experiment. Now I'm trying a different social night coming up later in the month, which is more Latin and salsa and things like that, which I haven't been a part of actively for so long, and it's been my passion to kind of come back to it. I'm allowed to do that, which is a success if you want to put it that way. Having a festival. The fact that we can pull it together when we do.
I mean, that's kind of like your superpower too. You're kind of independent entity to the point of you could be slotted in a bachata, kizomba, salsa. You work with other people. There is a certain like one size fit allness to it in a good way.
One size fits all.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh man, excel, man. Need extra. What was okay? But you like performing.
I love, and this is where I was coming back to in terms of the passion. Performing is where I get to be creative.
Right. Me too.
Yeah, it's my go-to for everything. If all I could do is perform and just get paid for that, even if that was a thing.
Do you like performing? Where is your platform? Is it on stage, in festivals, in competition, in videos?
I prefer performing live. I do like doing videos. I enjoy it. It's just a pain in the ass to get the right this and that.
If only you knew somebody.
I know. Yeah. I do like doing videos. I think that is really the ideal platform for all new artists in general, is what I'm saying to you. Make sure you do as many of that. Do what I say and not what I do.
Yes.
Right? But I prefer, I'm a bit old school. I love to perform. I'll perform for free a lot of the times. And that's
don't put that out there, man.
No, I don't.
He said, he didn't say free, he said fee.
Yeah, for a fee.
For a fee.
For a fee. Look, in terms of what I'm performing, it depends. Like the drum and dance group, Mundum Tribe, I like my team to get paid. I think we do a lot of work. Yeah, they're not professionals, but some of them is there. Such a passion for it, and it's my baby, that I want us to get more gigs. I want us to get paid for this. I want the value there, and we work really hard, and we sound great, and the dancers are doing such a good job. That I see value in being paid.
Yeah,
because it's a big ass show, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's a show that deserves payment. I'm a little bit torn when it comes to like in festivals, international artists expecting 300, 400 euros for their full 3-minute performance, if that.
So is it okay? So this is where I don't understand how the system works, because for me, it doesn't matter if it's a 30-second show or a 3-hour show.
Sure.
It's just the fee might vary, but you have to get paid for it. Whether it's an amateur or a pro show, I'm sure there should be a fee set to it. Like, especially with festivals,
Yeah.
in a weird way, as a performer, I am paying them to put on a show, and I'm bringing people who pay them to put on a show. I think it's a bit ass backwards. I think.
Again, I'm in a bit of a weird mix
Yeah.
with this idea, because if it's an amateur, I think not so much that they pay. It depends on the structure of your festival. If you're someone okay, I'll give an example. If you're up and comer and you're asking for a festival, let's say you've been doing classes for about a year, right? You've been active for about a year. You've done a couple of performances here and there. You want to try and get into a festival. I think whatever that festival is in terms of their structure, in terms of however to get into their slot, you have to abide by them, in my opinion.
Okay.
Right? If they're coming up to you and going, let's say your festival's like, okay, if you want to be in our slot, you need to have a performance team.
Okay.
Fine. I think that was how I did it back in the day. Again, old school, and
Kind of. I think it should be separate.
sort of. I'll tell you why. Again, it depends on how much you've been grinding. If you've only been grinding for a year and you're expected to go to a festival and no one's asked you and you're asking them, if they're asking you to bring in a people, let's say reasonable, let's say 5 couples,
Yeah.
right? I say suck it up, do it if you're the one asking. Now, if the festival is asking you, but also expecting you to bring a team to get that slot, if you ask, then ask.
If I ask the ask, then I'll ask me. What the fuck are you asking about?
Would you ask? If you ask me, pay me to be there,
Yes.
right? That's simple.
Okay. Let's make it simple, right?
That was simple.
What was simple?
If I ask the festival, I have to do whatever the festival wants. If that's including me bringing a team,
Yeah.
okay. If the festival asks me, you give me money, I go do the thing.
Okay.
Simple.
Yes. Wait, the festival asked you to pay?
No, if the festival asks me to come to their festival,
Gotcha.
I shouldn't have to bring a team.
Right.
Because you asked me.
Yes. Okay. Let me put it even simpler. Okay.
Fuck.
Even the ask.
Yeah.
So let's just say, what does the cost the festival to include me in the festival?
Someone else who will bring cuts.
Yes, but that's a good point. But also, the cost is one ticket.
Right. Hold on, there can be more, because now people who, when the festival is asking someone, like if I'm asking for an artist and I want that artist, I'm expected to pay flights, accommodation, food sometimes, depends on the level of artist.
Okay. So let's calculate all of that. If I can bring tickets.
Transfer of driving a motherfucker.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All of that, agree. Okay.
Sucking, anyway.
I don't know how much they charge for it. But if we itemize all of that and whatever it is, let's just say it's like $3,000.
Sure.
If they can bring tickets worth $3,000, if the festival ticket's $300, if they can bring 10, they already even. Right? What I'm saying is, remember the thing you said, like they have 1 year experience. Yeah, they're doing all of that. Let's just use that architect for one. Okay. Right? If that person, the only cost, they're not paying them for anything other than the ticket, right? They're giving them a free ticket to come and teach or perform or do whatever.
Which some do.
Some do.
Yeah.
I'm saying if they're asked to bring people, anything more than 2 people is profit for the festival.
Yeah.
So 1, to cover their own costs.
Yep.
2, as a minimum profit. So I basically give 300, I bring $600 of value, right?
Sure.
So to ask more than 2 people to come to that festival is just profit.
Is it though?
Isn't it though?
Well, look,
Math, I'm saying math, isn't it?
I'm not good at maths, but okay, listen. Let's say, okay, like you said, $300 just to have you, right? Like that's cost a ticket, right? Again, flights now are stupid.
No, we're talking about amateur local artists.
We're talking about
Keeping it
in-house. Okay.
Keeping it local for now.
Okay.
We'll add the other ones. I'm just saying I can expand from it.
If it's in-house, me personally, I would pay my local artists. I would ask for them. If they came to me, even if they came to me and said, can I be a part of your festival? No worries. This is our rate. So you can't ask me for more rates.
Sure. Right? Okay.
So these are our rates. We're not doing anything else. This is our general rates for what it is. If you're asking me, for our festival, we don't have a system in place to say you need to bring X, Y, Z.
Right.
But
You've been to festivals where they basically say, we're not necessarily going to pay you, but we'll give you a free ticket, for example.
If you're local, if are you saying if they've asked? Or
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Doesn't matter. My point is, you've been to a festival where they don't pay you, but they give you a free ticket. And on top of that, I would say it this way, have the audacity to bring at least 10 to 20 people.
That's ridiculous.
That's my point. That's ridiculous. And that's been offered to me multiple times.
Yeah.
And the way I didn't like sit down and do the math. And I realized for me to bring 10 to 20 people, I have to, let's just say, bring a performance team.
Yeah.
That's the best way to bring a certain number of people.
Yes.
Which is even worse for the people coming, because the way you incentivize performers is by saying, here's a performance ticket, which is maybe 10, 20% less.
Yeah.
But I can't bring a performance without a performance, which I have to ask them to pay. So basically, this is what I'm saying.
Right.
As a student performer coming to a festival, yes, they have to pay for, they get to pay a discounted festival fees because of their performance.
Yeah.
Good. Cool. Then on top of that, they'll be paying for, what do you call it? My performance cost.
Yeah.
Which for me, so far, I've been just breaking even, maybe $50 I made.
Sure.
On top of that.
Yeah.
That, on top of that,
Costume.
thank you. And those are getting ridiculous, especially for girls. It's like hundreds of dollars for costumes.
Yeah.
On top of that, they would love to stay. If it's interstate, they have to. So the charge for a weekend is crazy, even if it's local.
Yeah.
And that is local, is what I'm saying. Especially when the festivals get a local artist, who, in a way, they're getting a discounted, asset.
Yeah.
On top of that, they're getting people to buy these tickets.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they're getting a performance for free, which is advertisement for the next year, for their own promotion.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm saying it's one-sided so much that I don't understand how that math seems to work, even if it's back then or now. I don't think the math.
I think the maths is very much on the side of the festivals, right? It's always been the case, right? Especially if you're required to teach. Sorry, if you're required to bring a team to teach and yet not get paid or have anything covered, you're the one spending thousands of dollars just to be featured. If you were first or second year grinder, not grinder like the app, but you've been grinding the scene, I reckon take it on the chin.
Yeah.
Especially if you ask, right? Take it on the chin if you ask. If
The first time.
the first time, maybe in the second
Okay,
time.
maybe second.
Maybe
But
a
the third time.
Or the third time, no more.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very much a part of the solution, right? So I'm part of.
No, I'm not putting out on that specifically. I'm just asking because now that you own a festival,
Yeah.
no other festival.
Well, this is why we wanted to change a lot of that.
I understand.
Right. This is why we wanted to make sure that if we're asking you, you're going to get paid. Even if you ask us, the chances are you're probably going to get paid, right? We don't require you to bring people, but it's incentivized, right? If you do bring people, you get paid more because we add incentive money on top, which some festivals do. We've taken that.
You sometimes get a percentage of the profit. But I'd rather pass that on to a student who is paying so much more.
Yeah.
Be there.
I mean, we also,
Which doesn't incentivize them to come perform. Because they go like, I can buy a regular ticket and pay so much less than discounted ticket plus your cost, plus costume, plus all of this.
Yeah, I understand.
And on top of that, spend all the like stress and thing before the performance.
I get it.
I need to be on time instead of just enjoying the festival.
well, this was something that's come up from last year and probably even the year before that, where we've had these system in place mostly for performers and they didn't want to do the whole festival. Right. And that was that's what we had in place. That's all we had. We didn't have what was the point of, well, why you coming just to perform,
Do a social.
you know what I mean? But we actually have that now for Unidos Tres is we've actually had.
Like it, he used it.
Just in-house here. But we have that now.
This is very in-house.
But we have this now where it's like, okay, now you do get to pay for the performance night and the social night. It is higher than the normal rate of a social night if you were just coming for a social.
Yeah.
And it's way less than you doing
Okay, that's understandable.
a whole festival, because some people they don't have that capacity. Fine. I think it's more for people who are coming from interstate.
Yeah.
For example, they're here for the festival, right? Generally, they want to try and do everything, so it's cheaper price. We're trying to do everything as best we can to everyone to be. No one's going to be fully happy, but
Look, I think that's
Option.
That's great. I think I have been asked a lot of people, can I do just the night?
yeah,
Can I pay for just one day and the thing? And it's always been a no. Either you get a performance pass or good luck, performing. You know what I mean? So I would say that's a good step towards the right direction. Still, I don't think it's the solution because I think it's just and I get it, right? Like, even though there are international artists coming, they might not necessarily bring their people.
they won't.
They won't.
No.
You know what I mean? So there's no guarantee that they get paid and the festival doesn't break even.
Yeah.
I also think it's a lot of bullshit when people say, well, we barely broke even this year. If you did, you wouldn't try to do it for the past 10 years.
Right. If you've been doing it for long enough, you would know. Like, we're pretty baby, so we're still ironing out those kinks, right? But people who've had it for 10 years, surely.
And in Unidos? In Spanish?
Yes.
Yes. So Unidos 10 comes along.
Well, I hope if we haven't made any money up to Unidos 10,
Yeah.
I'ma stab some motherfuckers. No way, man. Like, what the fuck?
No, but I'm saying, I know festivals has been around for years.
Yeah.
I don't know if has there been festival for 10 years? This should
Yeah, at least international. It's an international festival. It's been around.
But if they even mention they've been just breaking even now, I don't believe you. Because there's no way you would do this for 10 years and do it at a loss or break even.
I think it depends also, because if you've been around for a long time, things have changed pricing wise. Consider it like the flights and international. Do you know how much these guys?
Oh, you know what? Can I ask? When has the last time the festivals got cheaper? So it's kind of That's what I mean. If the price of flight and internationals have gone up, so has the price of festival.
Well, they've had no choice, right? We had no choice. We can't keep it at 250.
I know.
When your internationals are charging you 3,000 euros.
No, I get it. I'm saying you can't use that as an excuse to go, well, we are breaking even because the price is increasing.
Yeah.
It's increasing parallelly. So it's the same cost, the same.
It also depends on what they do. So, like, let's say, for example, you've had a festival in a nice place.
Yeah.
right? So venue costs shitloads, right?
Yeah.
Depends on what venue you use, right?
Yeah.
Some festivals, they know how to tweak.
Yeah.
But let's say the venue you had, freaking great. You love that venue, right? Now things have gone up. Flights, internationals have gone up. You need to outdo your festival at least by, say, another international. Right, okay, we need to bring in another. Or whoever we're going to bring now charges double. Where do you cut? So you cut the venue and now your vibes cracked it. Because you're trying to at least at best match it. So now you can't because maybe the venue has now upped their rent. So now you've got and everything's going stupid because you provided a thing. You can't go down now unless you create a different event. That's like, which I don't mind the idea of creating a different event. And I have nothing against not having a festival every year. Why do you have to have a festival every bloody year? There's plenty of festivals and it's going to come back. Who cares? Me, I don't care. But, for Unidos, it's every year. But in saying,
I mean, here specifically, like Melbourne has a big bachata community, but almost zero festivals.
what are you talking about?
Now there are.
Hey, okay.
Is my point. Like, how many Melbourne festivals were they?
Last year?
Like, not last year.
Let's say
ago.
no. Let's say last year because last year you had one bachata festival,
Yes.
one and a half, because
Yeah. Yeah.
1.5.
But then it's Kizomba and Bachata festival.
Yeah.
I don't think I want a Bachata only festival necessarily. But I'm saying even then, like there was salsa festivals with a Bachata which doesn't really exist.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I don't think consider that as a Bachata festival.
No.
But I think like Unidos, like I had great Bachata classes, great Kizomba classes there.
Yeah.
I think that fills in that gap of like, oh, I can do this and I can do that.
Sure.
And you guys had separate rooms for dancing. Sometimes it's together. It gets Kizomba people to try Bachata people to try Kizomba. And if not, like, you're Bachata, I'm glad, you should be glad you're doing it. You know what I mean? I don't want that feeling. Yeah, I go to a festival.
Bring the Beardos, take it like my soul. With our guitar strumming, keeping it warm.